I am still on a mission, and that is to use at least half of my current yarn stash this year. And today, I thought we could tackle something that I don't use very often. Yarn that has this thick, fluffy texture, usually referred to as blanket, chenille, or velvet yarn, depending on its fuzziness or brand, is a fiber that I have very limited experience with. So let's go on a little fluffy crochet journey. Okay, I really want to make some Junimos. I really want to make Junimos, so I'm going to look into my little bin over here and a picture of some Junimos, and we're going to make some. Should be pretty easy, it's just a ball. Let's try it out. My experience with fluffy yarn in general prior to this video was really just scrunchies. I was very influenced by Passionate Kelsey and Juicy Couture yarns from Joann's, not gonna lie. The buttery texture of fluffy yarn makes it really smooth and kind of slippery. At first it was definitely annoying, but it actually became a virtue in my opinion once I got used to it. But for the life of me, I hate having to find stitches with this yarn. The scrunchie pattern was incredibly forgiving because you could still achieve a great end result and a really nice ruffle, even if you ended up skipping a couple of stitches. But that is absolutely not the case for amigurumi, and of course, it can get a little stressful. By the way, the Juicy Couture yarn is probably my favorite of the fluffy yarn brands that I've used. My experience with amigurumi is genuinely little to none. My first attempts were probably way too early in my relearning crochet journey for me to be attempting, and it is these super jank frogs and a couple of strawberries that I attempted. I literally bought safety eyes and used them incorrectly, and for years I just didn't try amigurumi again, and I am glad that now I am giving it another go. If not to use the yarn, then to use other supplies. And of course, to have a cute little end result. Honestly, the worst part about this Junimo was the end, the black yarn that I decided to use for the arms and legs. It was a cheaper kind, maybe even from Dollar Tree, honestly, and the shedding was just a disaster. You can see for yourself, it was just not fun. Zach had a good idea to try and use maybe pipe cleaners for this part, and I honestly was gonna try to make another Junimo and try it, because I thought, hey, I have pipe cleaners. Until I realized that I have a bunch of other colors of pipe cleaners, but not black. So maybe I'll get some in the future, or just use a better black chenille for this step if I ever were to make this again, because all the fuzzies just were not fun. And I will most definitely be wearing a mask if I decide to do this again, because There was just way too many of those fuzzies flying in the air for my liking. Shout out to my lint roller for holding it down. When starting this project, I originally had the idea of making it into a blanket. Keep watching to see how that works out. But I didn't really have a pattern I was following. I just did alternating rows of single crochet and double crochet for texture. I struggled a lot with this super thick blanket yarn. It is just much thicker than what I'm used to, and the beginning chain was an experience in the first couple tries, but as I loosened my tension, it definitely got easier. I absolutely felt it a lot more in my wrists and elbows while using this yarn. So far, honestly, I'm just not the biggest fan, and I most likely won't be gravitating towards this Bernat baby blanket yarn again unless I absolutely need it for a project in mind. Plus, I don't know how this compares to normal Bernat blanket yarn, and I don't know if I'm gonna find out anytime soon. I wanted to update you on what I made this past weekend. I wanted to finish that Bernat baby blanket yarn and not have to buy more of it, at least right now. So I sewed up the rectangle into a cushion. It's super fluffy. I still haven't actually sewn in the ends on the corner, so I'll do that soon. And the back of it has not the prettiest seam. It's got the cushy going on. I wasn't sure if I was gonna have enough to do a different seam, like a single crochet seam or whatever. So I just did a slip stitch seam, which again wasn't the cleanest, but it's okay. Now I know that this is pretty much the back, and I pretty much plan on just using this as like a back cushion. I also had the idea for cushions because I have this massive bag of polyfill that I was able to use halfway, just about, so that's cool. Really cool, using what we got. I got that bag thinking it was significantly smaller than it was for like some plushies I wanted to try. It's all good. I'm going through it. I use a little bit in the little Junimo we made, and in this cushion, use a bunch of it. So it's nice and soft and cushy, and I might use the other thicker fluffy yarn to make some more cushions because I mean it's an easy like home decor. I don't know, I feel like it just makes sense. I might do more rectangle ones. I might do shapes. We'll see. We'll see. I was editing this video and I decided one more project, one more. We did just get a really big snowstorm and my elbows and my wrists are a little tired, so I'm not gonna overdo it, but I do think I can do this realistically quickly. I really hope I don't regret those words. But I have this skein of Bernat Crushed Velvet yarn, which is a different texture than regular blanket yarn. So I think I'm going to try this, and I want to try making something I've really been wanting to make. And honestly, it's a little late to be making because it is end of February. We are at the cusp of the end of winter, so it's probably not the best time to make it, but I don't know. I just feel like I need it and I can make it, and it matches the theme of this video perfectly. So I think this will be a good way to end it off. This is our next fluffy yarn, and we're gonna make something super exciting. Star ear warmers. I feel like it'll just be a really fun project, and it feels very me, I hope. Let's crank out, let's crank out a few stars and make a super cute accessory that I've always wanted and never felt justified in buying, so let's make it. The pattern calls for a number 5 weight yarn, bulky. Number 5 is bulky, right? Yeah. This says that it's bulky, but it recommends a 5mm hook. She uses bulky yarn and a 9mm hook, which makes sense for like a blanket yarn, like a true bulky. But like this is not giving bulky. It's more like a worsted weight, if anything. I think I'm just gonna wing it. I could always probably just add more rows on the outside, like continue the pattern to make the star bigger. I'm assuming it's gonna be pretty similar to the star sweater I made, at least in terms of constructing the star shape itself. Let's see if I'm right. I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of a nightmare. Not fun. Anyways, I've got a couple stars here to show you. So, like I said, my yarn was a lot thinner looking. So this was the size of the original pattern. I do really like this shape. I feel like it does read as star really well. I might just make another one and stuff it to make like a little mini charm to like match the earmuffs. But I feel like these were just a little comically small for some earmuffs, unfortunately. So then I did try a different pattern. It did kind of have more of a rounded star shape, which is cute. It kind of is a little bit more flower than star, but I do like the shape of it. And I made 2 of them. And I was gonna make more, but I also considered maybe I should sandwich these and stuff them because you can already kind of see the way this is constructed. I don't know if it's gonna work because it does have holes here, especially really mostly in this tip here because it was like a treble crochet chain 1 treble, so there is like a little hole there, and if it was just on its own as like an applique or something, it wouldn't be that big of a deal to me. But because it is going to get stuffed with polyfill, I feel like it's gonna poke out, like the polyfill bits are gonna be poking out. So but then I also thought, as I was messing around with my skein that's kind of falling apart, unfortunately, I could double strand. Maybe I double strand this and then try the original pattern with a bigger hook. See if that gives me a better shape that I like. That is a little bit more of that like consistent star shape. So that is another attempt, or another thing we can attempt, which I think I am gonna actually try now. I don't know why I make more work for myself. I could have ended this video and been like, la la la, happy, but such is the creative mind that feels like I need to just continue trying. And this is something that I wanted to make. I think it will be cute to have for the last month of winter, for next winter coming up. This yarn, fluffy yarn, and we've got beef. All right, that took me about 15 minutes, so I just made another one as well. And I actually made another one of the little ones while I was at it, so I can turn this into like a little charm or something. But here are our 2 double-stranded original pattern stars. I will say, like, it doesn't have as many holes, which is nice. Like, it is pretty solid, especially because it was constructed with mostly single crochets, 4 rows of single crochets and increasing, and then the like star bits. This was 2 rows of double crochets. I also like that this one, the second one, the more recent one that we just did, has a lot more structure, a little stiffer than this one, is a lot more floppy. I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to maybe go with the newer ones, and I'll just turn these into a charm or something again. Or it would be like a cool applique, or on like a beanie. You have these like little star bits like hanging down. That'd be cute. I left a really long tail to use to sew, so I don't have to connect it and then sew it. Now that I'm here, I am also going to grab the headband that I'm going to use for this too, because I will need to crochet a little cover for that as well. This is the headband I'm going to use. It was like a pretty basic one at the Dollar Tree. Hopefully the extra fluff, it makes it a little more comfortable. Ah. I do have little grippy bits, so I hope that this won't be a problem. Boy, only time will tell. But yeah, I'm gonna try sewing it and stuffing it. Polyfill's right here next to me, so that's convenient. This is the vision. Basically, I'm going to make like a cover for this and then just like attach them. It'll be a cute little star earmuffs. Are you seeing the vision? Do you like it? Do you like the vision so far? Okay, let's continue. After working on the first fluffy star on my own, I decided to go live to work on the rest of it. I do go live on both Twitch and here on YouTube. And it was the first crochet only stream I've ever done, and it was pretty low key and actually really fun. My second webcam wasn't working, unfortunately, so I wasn't able to get the alternate camera angles that I wanted while live. So we'll see if we can fix that in the future. But regardless, it was a fun Whip Wednesday. So fun that I'm highly considering doing Crochet Whip Wednesday streams more often. Let me know in the comments what you think, if you enjoy crafting live streams and what you like about them. And if you want to see any of my recent past live streams, you can check out the live tab in my channel for all of the VODs. Well, what do you think? I can't believe I did this technically 24 hours from when I started. Like when I was like, guys, I want to make these. It took 24 hours from then to completing them. But it took me even less time than that because none of what I did that day was in the final product. So in a day, less than a day, we made these. And it might not seem like a lot, but for the first time I was making it, and again, fighting for my life against the fluffy yarn, I think we did a pretty good job. Yes. That is our fluffy stuff over here. It was awesome making functional decor, like this little cushion that I've been using daily, literally since I made it. Cute items like this little Junimo here that it was purely for fun. It lives on top of my thermostat now, and he's just like a little guy there. It's very cute. And these star earmuffs, which are a dream accessory. I'm so happy I made them. They're actually really, really warm and cozy. I kind of want to make another one, like a flower one. How cute would it be see if it was like a yellow center and then white petals and then green stem. Not stem, but like the headband part was like a green, like a bright green. That'd be really cute. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I just want to take it easy. I think after using this yarn and making this, I am good on the fluffy yarn for a long while. The results are really cute, really soft, but the experience just could not justify me doing this all the time. So back to regular cotton yarn. That's what's going to happen next. I have several other crochet videos already in progress, and I think that they're going to be really fun. I try a lot of new stuff in the next couple videos, so I hope that you join me for the journey and for the experience. Otherwise, thank you again so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. Stay cozy, stay hydrated, and stay creative. Bye!